Panchakalpatarubhyascha kripasindhuveva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. So, I've been asked to speak about the glorious pastimes at Ter Kadam. And first time I went to Ter Kadam, this is the bhajan place of Srila Rupa Goswami. If you say bhajan kutir, then Ter Kadam Baba will become very angry. He was sitting under the trees, not like you with nice AC room. This is bhajan place, not bhajan kutir. He'll become very upset. But there I saw they have a little shrine with this famous picture of Srila Rupa Goswami. And beside the door, above the door, there was a verse that I used to hear. I was unfortunate, I never met Krishna's Bhavati Maharaj. Many of my god brothers and god sisters know him. But from hearing his tapes, there was one verse, as we all know, Sri Chaitanya Manubhistam Stapitam Jena Bhutale Sayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Svapadantikam. But he would always sing one extra verse. So finally I saw engraved in the marble there, Adadanastrunam Dantai Vridam Yache Puna Puna Srimad Rupa Padam Bhujo Dulisyam Janma Janmani. Adadanas Tadam Dantai. Dant means teeth, very close to dental, dant. Trin we know means straw. Sometimes we translate it as grass. Mahaprabhu in his famous Sikshastakam, Trinadapi Trin, they say, humble as a blade of grass. But blade of grass is not only fake humble. You step on a blade of grass, he goes down. And as soon as you walk away, but the straw on the street, he's always paying his sastang pranams. So Trin actually means a straw. Adadanasadam dantai. I'm taking some straw between my teeth. This is a way of showing humility. Adadanasadam dantai. Ridam yache puna puna. Yachna means to beg. I'm begging. Puna puna. We all know puna puna. Again and again. Adadanasadam dantai. Ridam yache puna. Srimad Rupa Padam Bhujo. Pada we know means feet, but here it says ambuja. Ambu is another, Sanskrit has so many wonderful words. This is for water. It's like I think the first Hindi word that our foreign devotees learn is pani. But mostly in Sanskrit we say jal, or also another beautiful word is ambu, ambuja. Ja, like we're in several days we'll celebrate Janmashtami. So Ja for Janma, who's born in the water, that's the lotus. Padam Bhujo, his lotus feet. Srimad Rupa Padam Bhujo, Duli. Just like you may have heard the word Braja Duli. Duli means dust. Srimad Rupa Padam Bhujo, Duli Syam Janma Janmani. I just want to get the dust of the lotus feet of Srila Rupa Goswami in my life, birth after birth. So Ter Kadam was one of the very nice places of Braj that's still left. We see that when Goswamis were here, there was practically just a forest, very simple place. In fact, you may have heard, I don't know, the series of lectures, but Rupa and Sanatan, they convinced Mahaprabhu he was going down the road with thousands and thousands of people. So you can't go like that to Vrindavan. Vrindavan was just jungle that time. He said, Prabhupada hasn't come. There's no Krishna Balaram guest house. There's no MEP, no Bhakti Dham. Where are they going to stay? Where are they going to eat? There's no Govindas, no Bhakti, Bharati Foods. Where are they? Murlidhar? Murliwala. So they convinced him not to go. It was a simple place. So we can go to Terkadam and we can feel that simplicity that was Vrindavan. It's still there. You can hear the peacocks crying. I can remember coming first to Vrindavan, and sometimes we would go on traveling Sankirtan, we'd come back and we'd lie down, and then all of a sudden we'd hear in the trees all around the temple somewhere, now unfortunately we don't hear that. Only in the lockdown we started to hear again. But there in Terkadam, you can, the kokilas, the peacocks are singing, and kokilas. Somehow I had some paralysis in my face. It's not completely cured. I can no longer make kokila sound. That's the best. So, very sweet, beautiful place. So simply underneath the trees, Srila Rupa Goswami used to sit and write various scriptures. In fact, it's called Terkadam because there's so many beautiful kadamba trees there. In fact, they just, the kadamba trees have just finished their bloom. The kadamba flowers it's not one flower, it's a whole ball of flowers. Just the color of Srimati Radhika. And the scent is very favorite of Krishna. So Kadamba tree represents Srimati Radharani. Just like Tamal tree in our courtyard, black and crooked, he represents Krishna. And if by chance you see a Kadamba tree and a Tamal tree growing together, certain places around Braj you can see, that's like getting darshan of Radha and Krishna. So Rupa Goswami, he would sit there under the trees writing. It's not that in those days they didn't have nice paper and so many things. They had palm leaves. Now we sit and write on our iPods. He had a leaf pod. And whenever he would write about the separation of Radha and Krishna, this is a common theme in all the literature, then even that Kadamba tree would be affected. Such was the power of such a pure Vaishnava as Srila Rupa Goswami. Even that tree was affected, but he would hear about the separation of Radha and Krishna. The mood of Rupa Goswami would even affect that tree, and the tree, all the leaves would fall down just like tears. Tears would fall down. And then when he'd again write about the reunion of Radha and Krishna, the separation is only there to make union even more sweet. Then, no matter what the season, fresh little leaves will come, little buds will come, and then gradually bloom, beautiful little Kadamba flowers would come, no matter what season, what time of the year, anything. Such was the power of Srila Rupa Goswami. And he wrote many literatures there. In fact, many scholars and great Vaishnavas have concluded that he finished Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, Nectar of Devotion there. He doesn't say directly, but the last verse of Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu says that it is the such and such day, or the such and such half, of such and such month, in the year such and such, and I'm sitting under a Kadamba tree, finishing this Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. So many people have determined that he must have finished this Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu there. He finished these two beautiful poems, Lalita Madhav and Vidagna Madhav. As you probably heard about that. Because these are the famous dramas of Srila Rupa Goswami. In fact, he started in Puri, and later he got to a place near Cuttack called Satyabhamapur. I've been there, very beautiful place. And Satyabhama told him, don't take Krishna out of Vrindavan. So then he decided to make two plays, Lalita Madhav and Vidagna Madhav. And many Vaishnavas and scholars agree that here at this Terkadam, he finished writing these books. So this was a very, very auspicious place. One time, at that time, because Terkadam is near Nandagram, and a little distance away is Pavan Sarovar. And at Pavan Sarovar, Sanatana Goswami, the older brother of Srila Rupa, he was having they actually had a bhajan. The villagers finally insisted. He was sitting under the trees like Rupa, and the villagers built a kutir for him. And thinking, he was very grateful to his elder brother, and thinking about it, he was thinking we'd like to give something nice to him. But you've seen, if you've been to Terkadam, it's way out in the middle. Now it's in the field. That time it was just all jungle and jungle. Where is he going to get something nice? But he was thinking like that within his heart. All of a sudden, some little gopi girl came. And she had a little pot, you can see in the picture. And now they made nice diorama of this picture. Last time I was there. And she came there and she said, Baba, there was wedding today in the village, and some sweet rice, kheer was left over. So my mata told me to go give it to some Baba doing bhajan in the forest. So our Indian girls, they're very, 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 very shy. At least used to be. So she's all alone in the forest, some strange Baba's there. She gave him this pot and ding, 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 ding. She ran back to Nandagram. Then Srila Rupa Goswami looked at this pot of sweet rice. Now we think we put some cashews and raisins and some cardamom, and we think we got nice sweet rice. But in India, when we want to make nice sweet rice, we really know how to make it nice. Not just cashews and raisins and cardamom, but we put little puffed lily seeds called makhana. Maybe you've seen jars in Loi Bazaar, these little white balls with little black specks on them. That's makhana. It comes from a special lily. We put makhana, put kesher, saffron. We put little seeds called chironji. Really, we know how to make nice sweet rice in India. So like that, very opulent sweet rice. So then he ran to Pavan Sarovar and said, oh brata, I brought you some nice sweet rice. And Sanatana Goswami, he looked at the sweet rice. Very opulent sweet rice. Where did you get such sweet rice in the middle of the jungle? So he asked, where did you get this? He said, oh, some gopi girl came. She said, oh, Baba, there was a wedding today in the village and some kheer was left over. Wedding in the village? Now, Sanatana Goswami, he knew everything in the village. All the Brishvasis would come. He was very dear to all the Brishvasis. We hear in that beautiful song, Dira, Dira. The Dira, who was brave, and Adira, those who were ruffians. The gentle and rough, he is dear to everyone. So wherever he would go, all the young children would come. Oh, uncle, uncle, where have you been? You know, those who were the same age. The young ones, they would bow down. Those who were the same age, they would embrace. They would bring him into the village. The elders would pat him on the head like this. He was very dear to all the Vrishvasis. And they would tell him all the news. That so-and-so got married, so-and-so died, so-and-so built a new house, so-and-so plowed his field, so-and-so grew this last season. And he would help them with all their mundane things. That now you plant this season, you plant this. He gave them all practical advice, but in the evening time, there was Nam Sankirtan and Harikatha. So he knew everything that's going on. All the villagers would come and tell him, there's no wedding today in the village. What wedding is there in the village? He knew all these things. What did this girl look like? Whose daughter was? I don't know. I never saw her before. She was very golden color and beautiful lotus petal eyes. And so soft and so sweet. Then Sanatana Goswami got doubt within his heart. And he took a little bit of the sweet rice. Whole body began to shiver. Tears came from his eyes. His hairs were standing on end. At that time, both Rupa and Sanatana, they realized what had happened. Because he had this desire in his heart that Radharani came to fulfill that desire, and they both began to cry that we're chanting Hare Krishna, that Radha and Krishna let us serve you, and we've taken service from Radharani. And with tears mixing with the sweet rice, they ate the sweet rice made by Srimati Radharani. Even today, there's a girl in the village named Radha. And every day she comes and brings some sweet rice for Srila Rupa Goswami. And if you've ever been there, then you know that Tirkadam Baba, he likes to distribute it to everyone. So even today there's a girl named Radha in the village who makes sweet rice every day. So these are all pastimes of 500 years ago. 5,000 years ago pastime is another thing. Because of the light I can't see the clock. I don't know how much time do I have? So, because it's a little ways from the village, because first Krishna was Vatsapal. We know Vatsa means calf. He was taking care of the calves. But after Gopastami, when there's a big festival at Tirkadam, he's given charge of the cows. So with the calves, they're near the village, but take the cows, they have to go far. So Tirkadam is a little far, one of the favorite places for herding the cows. And the place is called Tirkadamba. Now in Brijbhasa language, Tir means to call. Tir means to call. So Krishna comes there to that place with many of the cowboys and cows. And then he looks, he sees that not everybody's there. So he climbs at the kadamba tree. Krishna's got a very special mobile phone. It's like you all have your mobile phones. Hope they're on silent, otherwise the babies cry and cause disturbance. It's like you have your phone with 10 numbers from 0 to 9, But Krishna's mobile phone only has zeros. And Krishna is our only hero. So he plays on his mobile phone that Sudama, Sridama, Madhumangal, where are you? Please come in the forest and have some arrangement for the cows and playing. So then those cowboys who haven't come yet, and even our Tirkadam Baba, he learned a little bit of Russian. All the cowboys call out, Idu! Idu! I'm coming, I'm coming. Huh? So then you've seen underneath those trees are called dungar trees. They try to grow straight, but they're melting in Krishna prem. They come down like this. So you see all those trees underneath on the one side. Nice soft sand is there. Sometimes we had nice performance there with the young girls of our community doing dance in the soft sand underneath the trees, and all of us sitting there. So some cowherd boys are dancing. There's a nice big kunda there. Some are swimming. Sometimes some are sitting under the trees chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Like this, all nice activities are going on. And they all came with their lunch bags and they hang them in the tree. Because this is our fridge in Braj. Because trees, their leaves, water evaporates from them. Evaporation causes a cooling effect. So this is our Braj fridge. We hang it in the trees. It's nice and cool. In fact, they said one big, huge tree is as good as 50 air conditioners. And no carbon footprint. So about noontime, they're all hungry. So they want to sit down and take lunch. So they come there, and they get their lunch bags, and they look around, and Kanhaiya's not there. Now how the cowherd boys can eat without the association of Kanhaiya? We have a long way to go to learn all these things. Because as soon as we see prasadam, we don't think about any of that. We just eat. But we should take permission. Actually, one Vaishnav told me that until the person sees two others eating, he doesn't take. At least we should wait for the elder street. Then, actually, in Braj, if you go to real sadhu feasts, everybody starts at the same time, everybody ends at the same time. Anyway, Krishna is not there. So they don't have mobile phones, they have their own echo sound voice. So they call out, "Oh Krishna! Oh Krishna! Come take your lunch! Come take your lunch! We're all hungry!" And Krishna calls out, "Idu! Idu! I'm coming, I'm coming." So he comes there and he sits down with the cowherd boys, some just on a leaf, some just on their leg. Anyway, anyhow, they're all taking their lunch and they're all sitting around Krishna. And the amazing thing is there, even if you're the behind, front, this side, that side, wherever you're sitting, everybody sees that Krishna is looking at them and nobody else. So Madhumangal comes, and he takes a bite out of his laddu. He says, "Kanhaiya, just see what nice laddu my mata made." Did we learn that in the VIHE? Did we take a bite of the laddu and offer it to the Lord? Did Prasanta Mataji teach like that? No. This is why Braja Prem is very difficult to understand. And Krishna takes a bite of his laddu and says, "You just see what nice laddu my mata Yasoda made." We didn't learn that either, that we take a bite and offer it to our friend. But this is Braja Prem. So, before they were in the village, now they're way out in the forest. And Krishna can't be satisfied without makan, without butter. But butter's in the village. In the village it was easy to get butter. Now in the forest, no butter. But Krishna's only half satisfied, half full. So again he climbs in the kadamba tree and he calls, "Oh, Chitra Chambaka Induleka Tunga Vidya, come bring some butter quickly." Huh? And all the gopis come running to the kadam. But it's big jungle, they don't know where is Krishna. So they're just looking like Bankabi Hari Darshan. But Krishna somewhere lost in the forest. And finally they just open up completely, and no mobile phone with their echo sound voice. "Oh Kanaya! Oh Kanaya! We brought some butter! Idu, I'm coming. And Krishna comes there and there's nice butter. But there's nothing to eat it with. They're on the middle of the forest. Then the kadamba trees, if you've seen a kadamba tree, the leaf is shaped just like a hand, completely flat like this. But the kadamba trees made leaf cups. If you ask Baba, he'll show you. He has some dried ones. Even today, the leaf cups sometimes come. He has some dried ones there he can show you. Huh? So the Brishvasis say, "Kadam pat kadona, tad piye sham salona." That Krishna, he took the butter in the kadam leaf plate, leaf cup, like this. So finally, at the end of the day, it's time for all the cows to come home. So Krishna again climbs in the tree, the kadamba tree. And he plays on his flute and calls all the cows to come home. So they all come running to Kadam. And Krishna's got a special, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur explains, he has a special japamala made of 108 jewels. Just like we all have our tulsi beads, huh? And we were hearing the other day from Garga Muni, and I remember, I also. It's not that we went to the temple shop and bought some tulsi beads. We had to buy some string and string our own. Tie a knot between each one. But Krishna's got 108 jewel beads. Because we know that Nanda Baba, he has 9 lakhs of cows. And roughly they're divided in 4 groups. The white cows, yellow cows, black cows, and reddish cows. And those 4 groups have 25 subgroups. 4 times 25, 100. Then 8 special groups of cows. Those color like chandan, some with big spots, some with little spots. One cow is there, mridanga mukhi. I want to see that cow, face like a mridanga. And another cow, singamukhi, another type of group of cows, singamukhi. I'm not sure I want to see, face like a lion. And some with tilak on the forehead, some with stars on the forehead. Like that, 8 special groups. So Krishna takes his japamala and he goes to the leader of each group and touches her on the nose and counts 1 bead. It's like we're counting names of God, Krishna's counting groups of group leaders. And then he sees if all the 9 lakhs of cows there, because he knows all their names and they have their names according to their color. Just like the white cows, one of them is known as Davali. Daval means white. So she's Davali. But Brishvasi, they don't like sharp letters like this V. So they smooth it into a U, becomes Doli. And then they like to mix R's and L's around, so it becomes Dori. So white cows, Dori, Sweta, like Sweta Dvi Sweta, Chandani, moonlight, Chandrika, moonbeam, Hamsika, swan, all beautiful names like this. And then the yellowish cows, Pili, Pitambari, Pingali, and Gange. Ganga's in the yellowish cows. How many people have been to Prayag? Not very many. Oh my goodness, most amazing, sounding darshan. These two huge rivers joining together. So much energy in that place. But you can see Ganga's coming from this side, beautiful gold and muddy golden color. And Jamuna coming from the right side, very deep color. You see the water mixing. So Gange, she's in the yellow cows. Gange, Giriraj Sutta, these are all names of Ganga. These are the yellowish cows. Then there's the black cows. Kali, but Brishbasis, they're mixed R's and L's, so they say Kari, Kari, Shamala, Shamalangi, Shamangi, and Jamune, Kalindi, because we just heard that Kalindi is very deep color, so Kalindi and Jamune, they're in the black cows. Then there's the reddish cows. Lali, Sundari, Kumkumi, Sinduri, and Saraswati. We don't see Saraswati River now, but in Shastra it says she used to flow in reddish color. So then Krishna goes up in the tree when he sees that not all the cows are there. He calls those cows that didn't come by their name. Now all the cows heard Krishna's salute. It's that time of day, they're all hungry, they want to go home and eat. Krishna called, they're supposed to come, but there's some who know something more. If they don't come, Krishna will go in the tree and he will call them by their very name. You imagine Krishna by his own lotus mouth calling your name? O Dharmatma, Prasanta. You imagine, you've seen the cows, you see the cows here, their ears like this, but as soon as they hear Krishna call their name, whoop, just to catch all the nectar. When the nectar overflows, it doesn't overflow from the top, overflow comes from here. And then running with their legs back and forth, and then together and back and forth, and milk bag is going ka-choom, ka-choom, ka-choom. They all come running to Ter Kadam. So for all these reasons, sometimes we're calling cower boys, sometimes we're calling cows, sometimes we're calling gopis, sometimes different ways to call. It's called Ter Kadam. And even we had an interesting pastime that just happened several years ago. Because one time, as soon as I got off the hot seat of being temple president, then I decided now I'm president, I can go in Braj Bandhu Prikam. I always wanted to go on the Trasikos walking Prikam with Lokanath Maharaj. So I went and we got to Nandagam and it rained all night. And those days there was it was a dirt road to Terkadam, a little narrow dirt road. So it was all muddy. So the authorities decided we'll go out to the main road and we'll go to Javat by the main road. I thought, I'm not going to miss Terkadam for anything, mud or no mud. But if I go somewhere, everybody will follow me. Oh, and mud is going some nectar place. And then I get in trouble with all the authorities. So I said, all right. I lagged behind, and when nobody was looking, I exited stage right to Terkadam. Actually, my godbrother Hunkar was looking, and one devotee from New Zealand or someplace named Steve, he also saw me, so they came behind me. And we had to pull up our dhotis. We were thigh deep in mud. It wasn't a nice road then, you know, and we were just going along, holding our dhotis up like this. We can't tell if we're falling in a hole, stepping on a stone, on a thorn, anything. So we got to Terkadam and we went down to the Kund. That time it was natural, it hadn't made the thing that they made now. And it had rained all night, so all the trees, there was no dust on the trees, so all the leaves were very green. And little drops of water were in all the leaves, and the sun was just rising and glinting in those little drops of water on the leaves, you know. And because it rained all night, there was no wind. And Kund was just like a mirror. And there was all these kadamba trees. Now to make that Kund, they cut them all down, but there was these purplish flowers, lavender colored flowers that were going from kadam to kadam like this. And the whole scene, the drops of water and sparkling in the sun and the flowers going from one kadam, everything was reflected in the Kund. And Bhakta Steve came and said, gosh, it looks like we're in the spiritual world. I said, well, where did you think we are? Jai Kadamba ki Jai. Srila Prabhupada Goswami Pada ki Jai. Hare Krishna.